Friendship International, and this is an enhancement tape. We've finished the basic structure of our boxes, and I'm going to just show a special card that Claire Cheville calls the TaDa card. Ta-da! I'm not decorating it yet, I'm just using the paper, but I wanted to show you the mechanics of putting this sweet card together. This is a great place to either stamp or add an image, and it's just a fun card. So I'm going to show you the pieces I used to make it and how to put it together. It starts out with a piece of card that is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2 by 2.5, just about 5 by 2.5 inch piece. And what you're going to do with that card is you're going to score it at 1 1/4 on each end and 1 1/4 down the middle. And so it has like a box score. And I don't have it drawn out for you, but I do have it scored, so I'm going to show you how you bend it. So there's 2 little edges, and it's scored down the middle. But I also scored it in a diagonal where those 1 1/4 inch pieces meet. And this is the actual part that will make the TaDa card pop. And so you're folding it on the center lines, and you're making like a little house. I'm just going to burnish it well. Now on the point of this house, or the roof of the house, I want you to put some double-sided tape. I'm actually going to put it on 2 sides. And this little mechanism is what pops out the card. And the card, I'm going to push over a little, could be any color. I have 3 different boxes I'm working on. So I have an Egyptian card, a black and white card, and my patina card. The next piece of card is 3 inches, no, 2 3/4. 2 3/4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. And it is scored at 2, 1, 2, just under 2. So 7.5, if you divide it in half and then fold backwards, that's where you're going to score it. And I'll write the exact measurements in the description later on. I just wanted to show you the technique. So this card will be in the middle of your card, and it will be attached. And the trick of attaching it is you're only going to put a small amount. Let's see, I need a white pen. Here's a gold one, that'll work. You're going to match up the centers. I'm telling you this ahead so you'll realize how little holds this card together. And I am going to put glue in that bottom quadrant there. And then here, I'm going to put glue in the top quadrant. And that's what's going to hold this card together, those 2 little bits of glue. Okay, now let's put it together. Might be backwards, but I want to start with the TaDa part. I have put on the double-sided tape first. I also these are, I think, 1 3/4 by 2.5, the decorations. And I just took leftover paper from my book. And remember, that book is pretty plain, the orange and patina one. So I'm just going to center those little the little papers for decoration. Might also add cutouts and such later. Right now I'm just making the background. We'll worry about how we want to accent it later. Now if you came to the open house from Friendship in the spring, this was the card we made with the Van Gogh olive tree or olive branch. So this is a great place to add stamped images or sentiments. And it probably doesn't need double tape or double glue, but I like a little bit for movability, and I like my edges well tracked. And I'm sort of just alternating blue and orange from different pieces of the patina paper. You could also, you don't have to have a black background, but since the book has the black mat, I thought it would make it pop a little bit more. Okay, so that's our decorative piece, ready to go. And I'm going to put some tape on those corner edges. This one I will double, I think I'll use skinnier here. I will double glue this because this is going to be the strength of the card. There's two little corners. Okay, now for the card I took a half a piece of letter paper and I folded it in the middle. Then I took a piece of patina paper and I made it a 1/4 inch smaller so I'd have an 1/8 of an inch border. I've already put the double-sided tape. Now this card could be a number of things, but it's a great mailing card, but you might have to use 2 stamps. I'm just putting it on the middle score line here because it's a little heavy, especially since I use thick card for the black. You might choose to use thinner card for the black because it will fold easier, but since my scraps were my scraps were the thick, I just used my scraps. Now I'm going to fold the back or the top of the card on top of that fold. Now I see that it doesn't quite line up there. I might trim that later, we'll see. But there's the base of my card. Now for decoration, you can decorate it later or you can decorate it first. I just made the frame that matched the outside of my frame. And I did that by printing it smaller. I didn't even resize it in Photoshop or anything. I just picked 4x6 paper size, and that made it just the right size for a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card. So I'm going to center this. that leaves the opening. Now, the card could be this way, it could be this way. I'm just going up and down for now. And this is the little bit of a tricky part. You want to fold your little house back up, take off your tape, add a little bit of tacky glue. In my opinion, corners and points are the most important. So a point at the house, top of the house. There we go. And you want to get this right in the middle of your card. So the card is 4 1/4. So I want this at 2 1/8.